Welcome to Evolution from Within podcast series. My name is Harris Mamodu. This is episode 2, and my co-presenter Lerado will join us on the next episode. She's not available today. Apologies for all of you looking to see her beautiful essence and self. So I'm just going to pioneer this one for now until she joins in. And we do also have members of the Evolution from Within community and family that will be coming in and out. And we will have a lot of guests that we will interview for you. Interesting guests that are within their own evolution and have a lot to offer, to teach, to give, that are examples of human being and humans that are evolving, humans that are following their light, humans that are looking to change for the better, that are looking to be the change they want to see in the world, that are in their own path of enlightenment, humans that are attaining their own self-awareness, that are going into their self-realization, going inwards, searching for the self that they already know that they have, so that they can realize this self. So we will have all these interesting people in other episodes. But today, there's been something brewing that I wanted to talk about. And it is emotional intelligence versus intellectual intelligence, right? The mind intelligence versus the heart intelligence. Okay, I am recording this video at the same time. I'm also live on TikTok. Hello to the TikTokers right there. Thanks for coming up. So I pray and I trust that this is going to go well. And those that have been looking for information like this, or looking to dive into topics like this, or should I say those that are actually realizing the intelligence of the heart. I'm saying right here, but let's say the heart is here, it's here. I think the heart is everywhere. I believe in love. So I believe there is a heart everywhere. You can see the heart on my nose. See the heart right there? Yeah. Let's stay heart-based. So I want to discuss this. And when I decided that I would discuss this topic, it actually started from days ago. It started from choosing your emotions, how you will feel, how a situation would leave you, what the outcome of that situation would make you feel like, versus your righteousness. I want to be right. How right am I? I'll fight for my right. Those two. It kept coming to me and saying, what are we doing? What is the best one for us? What feels the best? What helps me to evolve and move to the next level of realizing or attaining or becoming that peace, joy, and love that we all want, which is the result of everything we're looking for at the end of the day, the emotional result, I should say. We started with that. Like, at what cost are we looking to fight for something? Where would that leave us? When we get what we want, at what cost? When we get it, how do we feel? Is it temporary, the relief? Does it justify everything in our life? Do we go on looking for the next thing to fight for? Or are we satisfied? How do we feel after this happens? So I'm going to go into that at some point, which is choosing to be right or choosing to accept being wrong and feeling okay that you haven't gone through a battle, a huge battle, just to be right, just to ascertain that mental intelligence that I am right. I got it right and you are wrong. How many times are you or are we going to fight that battle until we gauge the toll that takes on us after we finish fighting this battle? They say when two elephants fight, the grass suffers. So we want to look into this. Okay, let's say you want to fight for your right. Now you're in the justice system. It is a case. It is a case. You're going on, you're going to court all the time. You know, you're going to fight for your right. You're going to show them that they are wrong and you are right. You will win this battle. The court process takes about a year. You win the battle, but at what cost? And when you look back, all the time and effort and everything you exhausted, you feel relieved that I won the battle, yay. But how long does it last? That yay. What toll does it take on you? Now, this is where you start getting the sense of emotional intelligence. They say our elders, the older ones who've gone through a whole lot of these battles so many times, they often choose to let the fight be. Why do they do that? Are they really wise? Is it due to them having seen the result and saying, what is the point of me going through all that turmoil? If they had a choice, a lot of them, when they do now have the choice, do I fight this battle or nah, I'm just going to let them win? I just don't want to give away my peace of mind. I just don't want to give away my joy. I just don't want to give away the love in me that way. I just don't want to stop loving myself. And I want to allow for the space for other people to find love. So I don't want to battle them. I don't want to fight that. I can let that go. Now, there are some battles where we feel we have to fight on our journey. That's why they say pick your battles. Pick your battles. And the old and the wise ones, they do pick their battles. They do. You can see that. So, nah, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. You hear that word all the time. I will give an example. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. I was watching a documentary about them. Hello, my TikTok people. I'm going to be looking up a little bit and looking down. But I got the video right here, but you can see me. You can see me. So, I heard Meghan Markle talking about this fight in the court. I think they were fighting a media company or something like that. That's just posting maybe the wrong information or things like. There's so many things that could be hurtful that that went out and fair enough that got them and they felt they had to fight. I don't know what that battle was, but they felt they had to fight it to win. They kept going on and on, going to court, lawyers, and after a year or so, she testified that during that period, she started developing a type of sickness. I don't know if it was cancer. I got, quote me right. Something like that to that effect. That really affected her emotionally, spiritually, and then even mentally. And then she said, she looked back, like, if she had a choice not to go into that battle, if she was wiser, if she knew that, she's trying to say, if she had the emotional intelligence she wouldn't have gone into that battle because she could see the result. She could see what that battle did to her physically, emotionally, mentally. She was tired. They won the battle. So did that win give her back her peace? Did he give her everything, or was it just a momentary thing, like a temporary win that just so relief that okay, I showed them I'm right, we're correct, we can. What now? At what cost? This is the question we will ask ourselves. So a lot of people have started recognizing that emotional intelligence is actually more beneficial than the mental intelligence. Now, mental intelligence is very useful. Oh, don't get me wrong. You want your intellect to be high so you can discern things very quickly and you can put things in place. It is for really slicing and dicing and looking at things with a microscopic vision and zooming in and saying that one. And then you could see clearly, you could see all the details of it. And you can make decisions from that. That's beautiful, right? That we do have this intelligence, this intellectual intelligence. But then again, what is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence does not zoom into and looking at just one spectrum. It sees all of it. It's holistic. It's wholesome. It sees the whole thing, feels it. It's almost as if it's seeing a whole lot of intellectual or mental intelligence put into one. It's seeing all of them at the same time, and it has that thing called love. It puts everything together. Love joins everything together. Now, when you use your mental intelligence, it separates the things because it has to, so it can dissect them and put them in place. So it doesn't see everything. It just zooms into that one. It's beautiful. Its use is for that. But there are many times where we then use it when we could be using the emotional intelligence. And this is something we learn in life as we go about our day to day. A lot of situations put us in this place and give us opportunities where we could say, you know what? I've gone through that a lot. I've won, but how did it leave me? Which one benefits me more? The peace of mind that I lost, or the turmoil that I got after it? Or would I just choose something else? So, emotional intelligence versus mental intelligence. Now, I'm going to tell you something that happened to me today. Actually, two of them that made me, because I was going to do this. And I heard something from Sadhguru to the effect of how the heart base, the emotional intelligence sees everything and is wholesome. And then, while this one is just like a knife and it dissects and dissects. I just love that. I love Sadhguru for that. You see, I listen to anywhere that has wonderful wisdom that could benefit me or benefit others, even my son. So I got to give a testament to that. Thank you, Sadhguru, for helping me out with that. The one that just happened to me before I started doing this podcast, I didn't even think it would happen. It was something else I was going to say, but I'm still going to say that one secondly. So here I am in my house, and someone within my family says, you know what? I don't really act that way. I don't act like that. I don't act like that. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You do act like that. I can tell you many times you've acted that way. And then it was like, really? Nah, that's not me. I don't really do that. And another person's like, nah, she doesn't really do that. And I'm like, in my head, like, my mental intellectual intelligence is trying to dissect and say, you know what I mean, you know what I mean. I need to let them know that yes, you do. I know instances where you've been that way. I can prove it. So at that point in time, instead of me going there, I took the middle ground. Patience, 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 Harris. Let's see this one out. Let's see what's happening. And then I mentioned something. Trying to get my lights on as I'm doing this. And then I said, you know what? I will tell you. I will let you know when you have acted that way. Don't worry. I will remind you of this when it happens again. And for me, this is me still leaning on that mental intelligence to say, I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to prove you wrong today. And then the person said something else. And then instead of me to go further, I said, now calm down, Harris. This is starting to almost go into the door. You're going to get into that door. You're going to open it up of conflict, of arguments. What would that do to your peace of mind? What would that do to your self-love? Is it worth it? I said, wow. Now I'm going into that emotional intelligence. I'm like, you know what? It's not worth it. Calm down. I said, okay. And then because of that, it affected my mind intelligence to start looking for how this person is that way. And then I said, oh, you know what? Really, in those type of situations, I could now see their point. That in those type of situations, you're actually like the way you said you are. It's in different situations that I'm seeing, but never mind that. You are right. But the mind still said, for now, until I prove it, there's a different side of the mind. So you kind of have like the good wolf and the bad wolf. So the good wolf came up and said, okay, for peace sake, I recognize that. And then the bad wolf is like, you know what? We'll get you. And then I left that. And then at some point, the bad wolf came up. You know what? We got the answer. It's this. And we did have an answer. That answer would have won that argument to justify, I want to be right. I don't want to be wrong. What is so wrong about being wrong? What is so bad? What is so not great about being wrong? That's something we have to ask ourselves. And at what cost? So I analyzed that answer. I'm like, so you're gonna tell them that? And it's like, get your phone and tell. I'm like, hey dude, this is like me going into a battle, and we don't want that, you know? It's within my body. I'll go through this battle, there's elephants in there, and then the body will suffer, the emotion will suffer, and I ask myself, to what's gonna happen when I do that, when I prove them wrong? I feel okay. And then what next? They feel bad. They feel, okay, I'm wrong. They feel, and then what else? We're in the same space. We're the same consciousness. I'm empathic. Them feeling bad is going to affect me. Like, oh my God, they feel bad. Oh, why did I do that? Then I have a bit of guilt. I'm like, they feel bad. Why am I feeling bad? And then if I really don't want to be like a human being that has a heart, I'll be like, yeah, whatever. They got me and I get them back. And then you go to that mind intelligence. I showed them I won. But to what extent? It comes back to me. Whatever way they're feeling comes back to my field. And then I have to sort that out. Then I have to probably go pacify them and say, oh, you want this? But why go through all that work? Why? So I asked myself, nah, I'm not going to do this. Thank you, emotional intelligence. I've seen all the work that it entails just for me to be right, and it's just not worth it. And you know what? They're actually right too. This is the argument. A fight breaks up, something happens, an incident. Now, there are people who can see and watch this incident. One person is watching from the right, can only have the perspective from the right angle. Another person is watching from the left, can only have the perspective from the left angle. Both of them are seeing two different things, two different perspectives. Why? Because the one looking at the right cannot see the one on the cannot see what the one on the left is looking at. The one on the left looking like this cannot see what the one on the right is looking at. So what happens when the judge calls him? What did you see? What did you see? I saw him slapping him from here. And then the other one said, no, I saw him slapping him. Nobody really knows what really happened. Because everybody has their own perspective. And you know what? The one on the right is right. The one on the left is also right. Because they both saw what they saw. Who are we to judge another? The great saying of in the Bible, um, co-host, I would put that up for those who want to ask questions. I love those type of things and make this interesting. But I think I'm gonna finish up my train of thought. But I see you all. I love you. I'll be there. Just bear with me. Thank you. So I'm just talking to those on the TikTok. Just yeah. My beautiful people on the TikTok. Thank you. Thank you so much. Love you all. So the quote from the Bible, I think Matthew 7:1-3. Judge not that ye be not judged. For with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged. And with what measure ye met, which is meta, I don't know what that means, but I feel it's met. Stick with me. It shall be measured to you. So I think that means judge not. Do not judge. Because when you judge, you will be judged back. And the way with the type of judgment, what judgment you have judged somebody, that's going to come back to you. That exact type will come back to you. And the method you met, like what way you judge the person, how, that's going to come back to you. It's talking about karma, for those who believe in karma. What goes around comes back around. These are powerful words. It shall be measured to you. So this is really what that is saying. I'm not saying I'm a Bible expert or religious expert. I just respect all wisdom. I'm not talking about that. I'm just looking at what unifies all of us as we are talking. Because I did have another teaching moment that happened to me in the morning, where someone, a beautiful, wonderful soul, paid interest in me and inboxed me. Started asking questions about me, and I was answering. And it got to the point where they started putting information that looked a bit to do with their faith, as if to invite me into a knowledge or wisdom that their faith had. And they put it in that they weren't religious, but they were from some evangelical in a way that when. So I asked them, what is, so they told me, evangelist and things like that, So it looked like they were inviting me to learn some things from their wisdom and their faith. And I felt something. I was curious. There was a. I didn't want to judge the way, but I could discern. So I had to ask more questions to understand what it was and how this person could help me, or and how I can help them. There was a reason why we were co-creating at that moment. We were connecting. There was a reason why greater consciousness, or should I say God, connected us in that way. Even though they came to my DM, it could have been me going to their DM. So I asked, so what do you think about all other faiths? And because I am convicted in my own faith, in my own way. And I believe everybody has their ways. And I also believe everyone is entitled to having their ways. And, none of us should be judged. We should be accepted and allow the freedom. And I see that as ultimate love, unconditional love, which is what I follow. If you were going to call it, say, what is your religion? I would say unconditional love. So, and these beautiful beings said, no, they don't follow that in that way. They saw other faiths and other as not it or wrong, that the only way was in their way. And I understood that. I said, okay, that is a perspective to have, and I don't judge it. I accept that. We can have whichever way perspective that we want to have, and as long as it works for us. But I also said, because it's in my case, you, in a way, you're telling me to be you, and which I cannot do. It's impossible for. I'm. You see how unique and whatever I am. I'm just awkward, beautifully awkward, and beautifully different. So I only know how to be me. I can only and try to keep being the best of me that I can be as I evolve. So I told them to just be a bit, mindful on that I would like to be in my own way. And I also gave them that Bible verse. I said, do not judge, because it felt like my way was being judged. And they responded with, that that verse was for sinners or things like that, that they had to judge, that you have to judge. And I said, well, that is a beautiful perspective also, and that is where we differ. I believe you do not judge, and that one believes you have to judge. It's in another verse in the Bible, something like that. I respected that, and I told them I love them for the way they are. I had to be the example of my faith, which is just love all, and it's in there that says love your neighbors and even your enemies as you love yourself. So I repeated that, like, this is where I stand, this is where I am, and I love them, and we can still continue find a common ground where we can still do something together, but not in those places, because I cannot change my name to their name, they cannot change it to my name. So that was how that went, and that really taught me something. You can still because at that moment I could have come out of emotional intelligence and not give them the love that I practice, and go into mental intellectual intelligence and get into some sort of argument with them and try to prove them wrong and go in different. And I know this can be brilliant sometimes. But at what cost? At what cost? I will win the argument. Someone else will feel bad. Or I may feel bad just from the tug of war, back and forth, back and forth. And then that would affect with my emotions, and I'm going and that's very unhealthy. And that's me not loving myself. I love myself enough that I will extend that love to this other person, this other beautiful being, as I see this being, as I don't judge this being. And I would tell them, I love you. Still, let us agree to disagree there. But let us look for where we can agree so we can play. And that is how that ended. My day got filled with these type of things just because I decided that I was going to speak on it. And I thank my grandest consciousness, God, whatever names you want to call it, the source, the universe, yeah, whichever one, for giving me these examples that I could share with you. One more happened. I was running late. I'm telling on myself right now. I was running late. And I knew I got it. I knew I had it, right? I was running late, but at some point I decided to go fast. It's like I moved from 10 to like 30 and like boom. But I knew I had it. It was just I saw everything, right? And I went boom. And I got close to where I was going to. I had to pick up my son. And as soon as I went there, the moment I was stopping, not knowing there was this older couple or someone in a car, the car door was open. And that scared them because I just moved, boom. So it's like, whoa, So obviously, I wasn't really paying attention to what they were perceiving and seeing. I was just paying attention to my scene inside the car. No, this is okay. Boom, you could go there. And then I stopped at the right time because I knew I had total control. And then I saw them a bit freak out, like, "Hey, what are you doing?" Like, and I'm like, "I'm okay. Like, I'm slowed down. Like, I only did that for a second. Like, so I went in and I went to park, and I'm like looking at, yeah, there was my son out, and then they came to park beside me, and like, a confrontation, like, and then I noticed that, and I'm like, oh my days, I wish I could, but I'm on a mission. And then they had the heart, the love in them to say, are you okay? Like, is everything okay? Because if they were loving people. If it were other people, it would be something else that they're talking about. So they said, are you okay? And I said, oh yes, I'm okay, thank you. Like, but I wasn't resolved with this emotion. I was running with the head. I gotta go pick him. I don't want him to be there alone in the cold because it was, so that was in my head like a father trying to. So I said, hi, it's okay, thank you. And then I ran to where I was going to, safely, safely. And then I got my son and got in the car, and they were already gone. So dropped my son home, and when I got home, I settled, and I'm like, oh, I wish I had enough time, or I actually did the action of telling them apologies for the way I made you feel. If I looked at it, if I judged it, I was right. I was okay. I didn't go beyond the speed limit. I didn't, but to me, I was okay. But to somebody else, it freaked them out because I understand that I went very quickly, and then I controlled it. The person doesn't know that I have that much control. And I'm sure if I was the one outside, I'd probably be like, yo, what's up? Oh, you got control. Okay, but at first, so I understood. I'm like, I wish I had actually done that with my heart back to them, because they actually came to check on me to see if I was okay, why I would drive like that for a second. Just so you all know, I'm telling myself, but I don't drive like that all the time. It's just a one-time theme. But anyways, the emotional intelligence started kicking in, like, you know, wow. And then it gave me this guidance. You better watch it more, even though you know you got it. You're not the only one living in this world. Just, you don't just go straight to the mental intelligence all the time. You got to come back to that heart base, and then you can see more, because the mental one you're just seeing in one way. With the heart you could see more, and that gave me a lesson for myself. I felt that came back to me. I resolved that within myself, like, wow, okay. And then I sent them love and thanked them. And if they do watch this, I was that dude, and I'm sorry for that. That is one thing that happened that gave me that other thing, an example of emotional love versus intellectual intelligence. Emotional intelligence, emotional love, love comes from there, yeah, yeah. Emotional heart love, but emotional intelligence versus mental intellectual intelligence. So this is the podcast for tonight, for today, and I'm glad I did this live also on TikTok. I was gonna get into a different topic also, just to roll it all in one. I was gonna get into happiness, the pursuit for happiness, and why we get unhappy when we're looking for happiness, and what is the base of happiness, and how do you differentiate, and to know or to realize that happiness and unhappiness are in the same coin. It's just one on one side, you want the other one there. So if you're chasing for happiness, you will find unhappiness also. So now, how do you get happiness? And it's to realize that happiness is already inside of you. That you are happiness. So when you realize that you are happiness and you can choose happiness at all times, you can, when you just tune into it, you don't have to search for it or look for it outside. And that's how you cheat the game, the matrix. So when you're looking for it outside, you will also find unhappiness. That happiness you get outside, it cannot exist without unhappiness. That happiness there. It's a polarity. The matrix is a polarity. But you're not a polarity. So you can create happiness. Be the change you want to see in the world. And that's it. Going back to base and knowing thyself, knowing who you are, knowing who we all are, knowing what consciousness is, knowing what greater and grander consciousness is, knowing really and truly what God is. The greatest consciousness, which is everything. You, me, the crystal, the plants, the pets, the animals, the books, everything. Everything in the matrix projected from there. Everything in the soul, everything in the spirit, everything, everything. Including nothing. If there's such a thing as nothing. The source is that. And we want to go back to that base. And a great tool is meditation. So I'm going to hit all those topics on a different episode. Maybe episode 3, episode 4. Maybe when Lerado gets back, we're going to go into that. We're going to dive into that. Or when I have a guest, a special guest, we're going to dive into all that. But until then, I love you all. The Power of Dreams, my book, go cap your copy. That's going to help you as well. I have all these juicy, beautiful things in there. And I'm even writing the second book. The first book, such a success. A lot of people love it. And it's helping a lot of people. And I'm fulfilled with that. And I'm thankful that I was guided to write it and to bring it out, because he helped me out. And I didn't really want to share it with the world. I didn't know how useful it would be. but this push said you got to share that. I was writing a different book, which I haven't even finished, but I had to finish this one to come out first. And I'm still finishing the other book, which has something to do with happiness. The greatest joy is the. I don't want to say the topic because I'm still. I'll take its time. I love that book. And this one, the second book of this is actually coming out. Also, it's like I'm just dreaming and things are coming and it's just writing itself. So I'm glad. I have appreciation for that. I thank Grounded Consciousness. I thank myself. I thank you all for being there and for all of us coming together to co-create this beautiful world. See it as you want to see it, the polarity, but which side, which one of the wolf, the good wolf, the bad wolf, which one are you feeding is the one you're paying more attention to. That's the one that grows and that's the one that becomes your world and that's the experience you're going to have, experience of life. Choose wisely. I love you all. I'm going to keep this recording going on while I put on the live and see what they're saying. I'm on the live already, but some people wanted to join in. How do you do this? How do you do this? Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Oh, ah, people are actually doing stuff here that I don't understand, but I appreciate it and I know it's good stuff. I know it's all love. I could feel it. I could feel it. I could feel it. Thank you all. And I will do more episodes. I will continue this. And I know there's a lot of people out there that are like me. Keep that, keep that strength, keep that courage, keep that power within you, keep empowering yourself, keep looking for tools that will help you stay within that empowerment. For me, meditation has been the strongest and biggest tool for me, finding myself, resolving everything, and actually even getting into emotional intelligence. I was raised to, think with the head, say with your chest and everything, intelligence, intellectual and everything. And it took me a while to change my whole consciousness to face towards the heart first, before it was head first. And then I started doing that like maybe 13, 14 years ago when I just fell down. I got sick. I never used to be sick that much. And I was in the hospital. They didn't even know what I had for like 5 months until they realized I had some tuberculosis of the spine, something like probably they just made it up. But anyways, that gave me a lot of time to see that the world that I was living in wasn't seeing is believing, it was believing is seeing. So that's when I started doing my transformation. So, and that's when I realized I had to be more heart based. And I thank God for that because a lot of things have happened in this world. And if I didn't change, I would have really suffered. And there's a lot of people out there still suffering, and you can't force them, but you can offer that suffering is a choice. In a way, there's many things happen to me, it's happened to others, and you could call them really challenging. I don't want to use the word difficult, but because of my changes and my evolution from 2010, 2009, 2010, I could go through it like it was easier for me to go through or to understand or to feel, to adapt or to evolve within or to use it as a stepping stone for my own growth, and thank God for that. Thank you all. I love you all. And I think I'm gonna end this live thing right now. Uh, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Okay. Hey, first, I want to say something. I want to say something. When I was reading this stuff, it said, "Judge not that ye be not judged, for with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged, and with what measure ye met, it shall be measured to you." So I'm like, is people talking about Kanye West or something? Like, yeah, yeah. But then I understood. I love Kanye's new name, Ye. And I understood because there's yay, it's the gravity in that, and I know he has something to do with this as well. Like yay, I just love the energy, I love the frequency. So kudos Kanye West, I salute you for that. I love you, man. Nice one. I much love to you all. I think I gotta end this now. Um, keep watching Stone and Just Real TikTok, Stonage is Real, Facebook, Instagram. That's our platform. And then Harris Momodu, it's on that platform as well. So you're gonna see evolution from within from those platforms. My YouTube, Harris Momodu, my Twitter, or my Facebook. So, and also when Lerado has it, she's gonna have it from our platform. And then we have other members of Evolution from Within that will also have it on their platform whenever they see fit. So thank you all, and just send me information, questions, whatever it is. If you want to join our group or whatever, just let me know, and we will do that for you. We're here to serve you as much as we can, but before we serve you, we have to serve ourselves to the point where we are able to serve you with 100%. I do not want to be in a video without being 100%, because I'm not going to give you my 100%. So that's very important. Take care of yourself first. Once you are able to take care of yourself, it's going to be easy for you to take care of others, and you're going to give them 100%. There's no point you trying to save somebody else from drowning, and you don't really know how to swim. I've heard stories, and I don't even want to talk about it, and it didn't end well. So we got to really look after our own selves to that point, and then not get greedy. I mean, we got enough, and then we can then start doing for others, because that's we all here together for that. And be kind, be compassionate. I love you all. Thank you.